Now for the starting lineups and the batting orders for tonight's game at Shea Stadium. Let's touch bases with Ralph Gaynor.
All right, Bob Murphy, and for the Mets, it'll be Wayne Garrett to lead off and play third. Batting second, the second baseman, Felix Meon. Batting third and playing right field, Rusty Staub. Batting fourth, the left fielder, Cleon Jones. Batting fifth and playing first base, John Milner. Batting sixth, the catcher, Jerry Grody. Batting seventh, playing center field, Don Hahn. Batting eighth, the shortstop, Bud Harrelson. And the pitcher, Jerry Kuzman, batting ninth. For the Pirates, Rennie Stennett will lead off. He'll be at second base. Batting second and playing third base, Dave Cash. Batting third, the center fielder, Al Oliver. Batting fourth, playing left field, Willie Stargell. Batting fifth, the right fielder, Richie Zipp. Batting sixth and catching, Manny Sanguin. Batting seventh, the first baseman, Bob Robertson. Batting eighth, the shortstop, Dow Maxwell. And the pitcher, Jim Rooker, batting ninth. And the Mets against the Pirates in the second game of this very important three-game series. The Mets won the first game last night. And here in the second, they have Jerry Kuzman, a left-hander, going for the Mets, and Jim Rooker, a left-hander, going for the Pirates. With the Expos losing, a three-way tie for second place between the Mets, the Expos, and the Cardinals, all 1.5 games behind the Pittsburgh Pirates. Now we're all set to go, and here for the play-by-play, Bob Murphy.
Thank you, Ralph, and hi, everybody. Rennie Stennett, the second baseman, will lead off against Jerry Kuzman. Rennie Stennett, right-hand batter up, and the pitch on the way, too high. Stennett batting at .244, 10 home runs, 55 runs batted in. And a foul pop-up wafted over into the crowd behind first. 1 ball, 1 strike on Rennie Stennett. Dave Cash is on deck, and then Al Oliver. The Mets held a press conference in the Diamond Club at Shea Stadium today. Willie Mays announced that he will retire at the end of the year. The 1-1 delivery, breaking ball, a call strike. Willie has been frustrated by injuries throughout the year and now is winding down a fantastic 22-year career. Right now he has a rib injury sustained in Montreal, but would like nothing better than to participate down the stretch drive. A swing, miss, strike three. Kuzman with a curveball strikes out Rennie Stennett. 1 out and nobody on. Now Dave Cash, the third baseman. Cash batting at .261. Tonight, St. Louis playing in Philadelphia. The Cardinals got a run, and they lead 1-0 in the second. Here's the pitch on the way. Fastball, a strike. At Philadelphia, Alan Foster, 13-8, pitching against Dick Ruthven, 6-9. And a line shot over second into center field. A base hit for David Cash. 1 out and 1 on. Al Oliver, the center fielder, coming up. This afternoon, Chicago beat Montreal 5-4. The Expos have lost 4 in a row. Jenkins was the winner and Rinko the loser. Fastball, a strike called in the outside corner to Al Oliver. Atlanta will be playing the Dodgers late tonight in Los Angeles. Last night, Dave Johnson hit his 43rd home run of the year. A new record for home runs by a second baseman. Hit in the air to short center field. It might drop. Here comes Hahn on the run, and he makes the catch. Throws to first base, trying for a double play, not in time. Effort on the part of Don Hahn, the center fielder. That ball was hit in the air to very shallow center field. Hahn, calling on his speed, made the grab. Now here is Willie Stargell. 5 for 12 in this series, including 2 home runs. On the year, the Mets lead the Pirates 11 games to 5. The infield around to right, the pitch to Stargell. Outside and low, ball 1. The league leader in RBIs with 113, 41 home runs. The 1-0 delivery, swing and a miss on a curveball, 1 ball, 1 strike. We'll have a crowd of about 30,000 tonight at Shea Stadium. The crowd last night reminded us so much of late '69. The crowd was standing and cheering, and what a ball game they saw. Now the 1-1 pitch. Fastball, a strike in the outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Willie Stargell. Milner holding against base runner David Cash. 2 men down. And the pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Kuzman fans Stargell. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. In the middle of the first inning, The Pirates nothing. The Mets coming to bat. The Pirate pitcher in tonight's game is Jim Rooker. He has probably been the best pitcher on the Pirate staff the last 2 months. Acquired from the Kansas City Royals. He was in the bullpen the first part of the year, actually made his first start against the New York Mets. And since becoming a starter, Rooker, the 30-year-old left-hander, has won 8 and lost 4. He has won 5 of his last 6 decisions. Wayne Garrett will lead off against Jim Rooker. Fastball, knee-high, call, strike 1. Felix Millan on deck, and then Rusty Staub. Dave Cash in close at third now against Wayne Garrett. Rooker delivers. Fastball, letter high and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. For the Bucks, Bob Robertson is playing first. Rennie Stennett at second. Dal Maxfield is short. Dave Cash at third. Willie Stargell in left. Al Oliver in center. Richie Zist around at right. The catcher, Manny Sanguillen. Curve, low and away, 2-1. Chrissy Hebner has been kept out of the last couple of ball games. His back stiffened up. Eddie Yost coaching third and Roy McMillan at first. Swing and a miss, 2-2. So we have a duel of left-handers here tonight and tomorrow night in the final of the 5 games. Tom Seaver pitches for New York. Steve Blass for the Pirates. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, he got him. Rooker with a fastball, fans Garrett. Felix Millan hitting .291. 4th in the National League in total hits. Felix now has raised his hit total to 176. And the pitch on the way. Low outside, ball 1. Only one player in the major leagues has gone over 200. And that's Pete Rose in Cincinnati. He's having a sensational year. Rose has 221. A new Cincinnati club record. Off the outside corner, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. If the Reds win their division and go on to a National League championship, I would have to say Pete Rose would be a tremendous candidate for MVP honors. And it's high, ball 3. Johnny Bench and Tony Perez have also had big years, and so has Joe Morgan. Bobby Bonds of the Giants will get a lot of consideration, even if the Giants don't win, and they won't. 3-0 delivery. Ball 4. Millan draws a walk. Oh, Felix, watching the strike zone carefully, is on with a walk, and the hitter is Rusty Staub. Rusty batting .270 with 14 home runs and 69 runs batted in. Rusty having a good series against the Pirates, 4 hits and 11 times up. Remember, next Tuesday night will be Willie Mays night at Shea Stadium. The last year for Willie Mays. Don't miss a chance to be a part of the evening. Ground ball down to first. Robertson throws quickly to second, and now back to first in time for the double play. They get it 3-6-3. Felix Millan pulled up and was going to get in a rundown and hope to get back around. He had no chance. Double play, retires the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left. At the end of 1. The Pirates nothing, the Mets nothing.
WKAJ-FM 102.3 on your FM dial, serving you from Saratoga Springs, New York.
Richie Zisk is the leadoff batter, and Kuzman's pitch is taken, ball 1. And the pitch on the way. Hit in the air to left field, moving quickly. Cleon Jones, he'll get under it, and he makes the catch. Cleon moving swiftly over into left center to grab the drive. 1 down, it brings up Manny Sanguillen. Sanguillen hitting .287, 12 homers, 63 runs batted in. The pitch to Sanguillen is high, 1 ball and no strikes. The infield and the outfield just about straight away, and a pop-up to the infield on the left side of the diamond. Bud Harrelson near second is under it, and he has it. Sanguillen retired, 2 men away at the top of the second. Now Bob Robertson. Robertson batting at .242, 14 home runs, 39 runs batted in. If the Mets can win tonight, they will be a half game out of first place. The windup by Kuzman. The pitch to Bob Robertson is flacked foul off to the right. No play. At the moment, all three challenging teams are exactly a game and a half behind the Pirates. And the pitch on the way. Inside and low. You know what amazing thing? If the Mets should win tonight, the Chicago Cubs would be only 3 games out. The Mets play their last 4 games of the season in Chicago. A tough place to win. Curve inside and low, 2-1. 2 balls and a strike on Bob Robertson. Well, the reaction you hear in the background is a disturbance in the crowd. Kuzman getting his sign from Jerry Grody. The 2-1 pitch, fastball high, 3-1. A couple of Zillman squared off for a little fist fight. Three-1 delivery. Ball 4. Robertson takes high and away. It will bring up Dal Maxwell. Kuzman pitching cautiously to Robertson, a power hitter. Willing to pitch around him to bring up Dal Maxwell. Veteran Dal Maxwell. He helped pull that Pirate infield together after being acquired from Oakland. He's had 3 hits in the series. Fastball high, 1 ball and no strikes. Kuzman has had trouble with his control his last 2 starts. He has been throwing very hard, probably as hard as any time since 1969. And the commissioner of baseball, Bowie Kuhn, is here tonight. Bowie coming in with his family. Fastball high, and Kuzman is now fighting control of the fastball. He has been high on the last 2, which would seem to indicate that perhaps he wasn't pitching around Robertson. He was just wild. Ball 3, 3-0 on Dal Maxwell. This control looked very good in the first inning of the ballgame. Now suddenly the plate starts to move around on him. 3-0 pitch, ball 4, and he walks the light-hitting Dal Maxwell on 4 pitches. It will bring up the pitcher, Jim Rooker. He has done well as a hitter. He has 10 for 41, a .244 batting average. Rooker will be batting right-handed against Jerry Kuzman. Ball 1, fastball high. And he's staying with the fastball, throwing all fastballs. Perhaps a hard slider. The 1-0 pitch, call strike. He was taking all right. 1 ball and 1 strike. This is how Jerry got himself hurt in his last start. 2 outs and 2 on. The pitch to Jim Rooker. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. And Kuzman regains his touch and fans Rooker, his 3rd strikeout. No runs, no hits, no errors. 2 were left on. In the middle of the second, the Pirates nothing, the Mets nothing.
You're listening to Mets Baseball on WKAJ-FM 102.3 on your FM dial.
Jim Rooker tosses in his warm-ups. 30-year-old left-hander. Bidding for his 10th win of the year will be facing Cleon Jones, John Milner, and Jerry Grody. Jones enjoyed his finest game of the year last night, hitting 2 home runs, driving 5 runs in. First home run to deep left center, and the second over the center field fence. Cleon hitting .261. Rooker looking into Sanguillen. And the pitch to Cleon. Ground ball hammered to shortstop. Dal Maxwell snags the hop, pegs to Robertson, and Cleon is out. 1 away, John Milner, the batter. Milner hitting .251, 22 homers, 69 runs batted in. Left-hander against left-hander as Rooker pitches. High and away, 1 ball and no strikes. Milner 1 for 10 so far in the series. Here's the pitch on the way. Little bit inside, 2 balls and no strikes. Mets leading Pittsburgh 11-5 on the year. The 2-0 pitch, way inside. That turned him around. Pitch had a lot on it by Jim Rooker. And the count is 3-0 on John Milner. For you, this Ralph Kainer.
Thank you very much, Bob Murphy. And for the Pittsburgh Pirates, leadoff batter Rennie Stennett will be batting for the second time. He struck out his first time up. Jerry Kuzma with his first pitch, and there's a half swing. And it's in there for a called strike. Stennett started to swing, tried to hold up, and might have pulled something. Time called as he walks outside of the batter's box. Tony Barterome coming out of the dugout, the Pirates trainer, and it appears that he might have pulled something in his side, trying to hold up on that swing. In the tennis match, Billie Jean won the first game on her service, and then Briggs held his service for a matchup at 1-1. And now it's Richie Hebner to the plate. He has a one-strike count against him as he steps in, replacing Rennie Stennett. And here's the pitch. Popped up out towards shortstop. Under the ball is Harrelson. He makes the catch. So Hebner is out. That brings up Dave Cash. Dave singled to center field his first time up. He's hitting .263 for the year with 2 home runs and 26 runs batted in. Last night he was 1 for 4, so he's 2 for 5 in this series. And the next pitch, hit towards shortstop on the ground, fielded by Harrelson to throw to first base, and Cash is out. That will bring up Al Oliver. Oliver flied out to center field his first time up. A good play on the ball by Don Hahn. It was a short fly ball, and Hahn had to run a long way to get to it. Got it down around his knees. Oliver hitting .292, 19 home runs, 91 runs batted in. He leads the club in hits with 175. Left-hand batter in the first pitch is swung on and missed. Guzman starting off with a curve. Doc Ellis is throwing in the bullpen. He's scheduled to make a start against Montreal. There's a grounder out in front of the plate. Picked up in fair territory by Grody. A good play by him. And the throw to first base for the out. Ball was going foul, and Grody got to it and kept it from going into foul territory. So 1-2-3 inning for Jerry Kuzman. And the score after 2.5 innings, the Pirates nothing, the Mets nothing. For the Pirates, Richie Hebner has gone in the lineup at third base, and Dave Cash, who was playing third, moves over to second to replace the injured Rennie Stennett. And for the Mets, as they bat in the bottom of the third, it'll be Bud Harrelson to lead off. Harrelson 2 for 3 last night, batting .261 for the year. No home runs, 19 runs batted in. It'll be Bud Harrelson, Jerry Kuzman, and then the leadoff batter, Wayne Garrett. First 3 batters for the Mets. Time call, the first base umpire, Ed Sudol, wants to check out the ball. Now he walks up to Rooker, and evidently Rooker went to his mouth. And now Sudol is explaining that it is okay to go to your mouth, evidently, with the cool night. Indication by Ed Sudol pointing to Yogi Berra, and then he blows on his hand, which would indicate that it's all right to go to your mouth here because of the chilly air. That does not mean that you can go to your mouth and wet the ball. It only means you can blow on your hand. Now we're set to go. Here's the pitch to Harrelson. And a ground ball hit out to the shortstop, Al Maxwell. An easy chance for him. He fields it, throws to first base for the out. That will bring up Jerry Kuzman. Jerry has been up 72 times. He's had 8 base hits. Both pitchers are left-hand throwers, and both bat right-handed. Kuzman's had 1 extra base hit, a double. He's driven in 3 runs. And Rooker with his first pitch to Kuzman, a called strike. This is Rooker's 16th start. He's been in 39 ball games. Now to the top of the fourth, and for the Pirates, it'll be Willie Stargell to lead off. Jerry Kuzman pitching for the Mets. He struck out Stargell on a curveball his first time up. Stargell batting .304. He has 41 home runs, 113 runs batted in. Leads the National League in RBIs. And the first pitch is a curve over the inside corner, called strike. Kuzman has given up one base hit, a single to center field in the first by Cash. Next pitch is a curveball. Stargell started the swing, held off in time, and it's outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. It'll be Willie Stargell, Richie Zisk, and Manny Sanguin as Kuzman works in the fourth inning. Next pitch is over Stargell's head. It's a changeup. 2 balls and 1 strike. Pirates have had a base runner at second base 1 time in the ball game on consecutive walks to Bob Robertson and Dow Maxwell. 2-1 pitch, a swing and a curveball and a miss, 2-2. Now the signs are out. Here's the pitch. Curveball bounces in the dirt in front of the plate. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Kuzman taking a lot off that curveball. It was sort of a change curve. Now the 3-2 pitch. It is outside and Stargell walks, and that's only the 66th walk that Stargell's had this year. A runner at first base with no one out in the fourth inning, and Richie Zisk coming up. He lined out to left field his first time up. Zisk, a right-hand batter, and the first pitch by Kuzman. It is inside a ball. Bobby Riggs broke Mrs. King in the 5th game, and he is leading 3-2. Then Billie Jean came back to break Bobby, so it's now 3-3. Here's a pitch back, and a curveball hit back off of Kuzman's glove. Harrelson will have a tough play. Fields the ball, throws the first in time. Great play by Harrelson as he picks up the out at first base, and Zisk is arguing with the umpire, Ed Sudol. Ball would have been fielded by Harrelson back of second. Might have been a double play, but it was deflected by Kuzman, and Harrelson had to come in, field it right on the edge of the infield grass. His throw to first base was taken by Milner right on top of the dirt, and this goes out. Moving to second on the play, Willie Stargell. So now the Pirates with a runner in scoring position for the second time. And the batter coming up is Manny Sanguin. Sanguin popped up the short his first time up. He was 2 for 4 last night. So Kuzman with a runner at second base. And here's the pitch to Sanguin. And it's hit out toward shallow right, coming up a stop, and he can't get to it. Stargell holding at second to see whether or not it would be caught. Now he takes off for third and gets there. So a bloop base hit by Sanguin, and the Pirates have runners at first and third with 1 man out. And the batter coming up is Bob Robertson. Bob Robertson, the batter. Bob walked on a 3-1 pitch his first time up. He's batting .242, 14 home runs, 39 runs batted in. Mets are playing their infield back, set up for a double play. They're willing to give up a run to try and get 2 men out and get the inning out. There's a fastball way inside. Robertson has to jackknife out of the way. It's ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Kuzman reading the signs. Sanguin runs well, the runner at first base. Now the 1-0 pitch. It is again inside. Grody fakes the throw to first base, and Sanguin scrambles back. 2 balls, no strikes. Scoreless ball game, 1 man out, top of the fourth. The Pirates with runners at first and third. Again, Kuzman sets up. Here's the pitch. It is grounded toward third, but foul. Ball fielded in back of the bag by Garrett. That puts the count at 2 balls and 1 strike. Robertson, hitting .242, has 14 home runs. Now the pitch. And it is fouled back of home plate, out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jerry Kuzman, after getting behind 2-0, now back to 2-2, and he comes back to the plate. The pitch is strike 3 call. Robertson started the swing, held up, and now he's arguing with the umpire. And that strikeout, the 4th for Jerry Kuzman. Kuzman coming up with a breaking pitch on the 3-2 pitch and striking out Bob Robertson. And now with 2 men out, the batter coming up will be Dow Maxwell. He walked on 4 pitches his first time up. Maxwell batting .207 with 14 runs batted in. And Kuzman working from the set position. Here's the first pitch. Check swing, bouncing ball to short. Harrelson fields it, throws to first base in the dirt. The ball gets away from Milner and Scargill scores. So the Pirates take the lead on the throwing error by Bud Harrelson on what was a routine play. Ball going into the Met dugout, so the runners advance one more base. On gain to third, and Maxwell on down to second. And that brings up the pitcher, Jim Rooker. Mets were out of the inning, so the run is unearned. And Kuzman with a job to do on Rooker, who was struck out his first time up. First pitch to the right-hand batter, a fastball fouled back against the screen at strike one. We pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
You're listening to WKAJ-FM from Saratoga Springs, New York, 102.3 on your FM dial.
Both Billie Jean King and Bobby Riggs held their serve, so now it's 4-4 after the first 8 games. And Kuzman with his next delivery. Curveball chopped out towards short, cut off by Garrett. His throw to first base is in good shape, and the side retired. In the inning, 1 unearned run on 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 men left. And the score at the end of 3.5 innings, the Pirates 1, the Mets nothing. In this inning, it'll be Rusty Staub, Cleon Jones, and John Milner as the first 3 batters. Have a report on Rennie Stennett. He came out of the game with a pulled muscle on the left side of the rib cage when he had that check swing in the 3rd inning. Rusty Staub batting for the 2nd time. He grounded into a double play his first time up. Batting at .270 for the year with 14 home runs and 69 runs batted in. Jim Rooker just now completing his warm-up pitches as we move to the bottom of the 4th inning. Staub 1 for 4 last night, so he's 1 for 5 in this series. Left-hander Jim Rooker on the mound for the Pirates. And the first pitch to Staub. Staub breaks his bat, hits the ground ball to second. It's fielded by Cash. A throw to first base for the out. Then we'll bring up Cleon Jones. The Philadelphia Phillies got a run in their half of the 4th inning. The Phillies lead St. Louis 4-3 going to the 5th inning of the ballgame. Right here, the Mets are in a tough one. Jim Rooker, the left-hander, looks like he's going to be hard to handle. Richie Hebner leading off against Jerry Kuzman. The Pirates leading on 1 unearned run, 1-0. And the pitch to Hebner. Curve outside and low. It's ball 1. Hebner came in the game to bat for Stennett when Rennie suffered a muscle pull of the left rib cage in the 3rd inning. And the pitch by Kuz, a strike on the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Top of the Pirate batting order here in the top half of the 5th inning. The 1-1 delivery, swing and a foul coming straight back.
Danny Ozark has now used 3 pitchers in that game at Philadelphia. Mike Wallace is on in the 5th inning. Alan Foster, the Cardinal pitcher. Phillies lead 4-3. They are in the 5th. The 1-2 pitch by Koosman. Curve, strike 3 call. Beautiful pitch by Jerry Koosman. His 5th strikeout of the game. Dave Cash, the 3rd baseman, hitting 2nd in the order, 1 for 2. Single to center field in the 1st inning. The Pirates have 1 unearned run on 2 hits. New York, no runs, only 1 hit. Jerry Grody setting up a target. Ground ball bounced down to 3rd. Garrett grabs the hop, makes the long throw in plenty of time, and Cash is out. 2 men away. 2 outs and nobody on. The number 3 hitter, center fielder Al Oliver, batting at .291. Oliver has skied to shallow center. He hit a squib that was bounced on by Jerry Grody, who threw him out. Willie Stargell working with the pine tar cloth in the on-deck circle. And the pitch on the way. A little ground ball hit right back to the mound. Koosman grabs it, throws to first, side, retires. Overpowering inning by Jerry Koosman. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left. In the middle of the 5th inning, the Pirates won and the Mets nothing.
WKAJ-FM 102.3 on your FM dial, serving you from Saratoga Springs, New York.
30-year-old left-hander Jim Rooker has allowed only 1 hit, a Wayne Garrett single in the 3rd inning over the first 4 innings of the ballgame. Jerry Grody will be the first batter in the home half of the 5th inning. Grody out on a pop fly to second, his first trip tonight. Jerry batting at .248. It will be Jerry Grody, Don Hahn, and Bud Harrelson hitting against Rooker in the home 5th inning. Jim Rooker, as a starting pitcher with the Pirates, has won 8 and lost 4, with an ERA of less than 3 earned runs per 9 innings, 2.9. Now the crowd at Shea starting to stir around. It's a lively group. Here's the windup by Rooker and the pitch. Ground ball bounced toward the hole, taken by the second baseman, Stinnett. And he throws on to Robertson, 1 away. I think I said Stinnett. Dave Cash moved over to second. Hebner is now playing 3rd. Stinnett started the game at second base. Center fielder Don Hahn bounced into a force play his previous trip. That's finding it difficult to get the ball in the air against left-hander Jim Rooker. They're hitting everything on the ground, or just about everything. Grody hit a pop fly in the air in the 2nd. Garrett hit one in the air for a base hit in the 3rd. That's been it. Breaking ball down low, 1 ball and no strikes. They're set up straight away against center fielder Hahn. Down a right-hand batter, Rooker's pitch on the way. Hit foul deep down the right field line, no play. Willie Stargell has scored the game's only run, and Stargell will lead off against Koosman in the 6th inning. Here's the windup and pitch by Koosman. Fastball, strike 1. They're not using the shift against Stargell, although they do play the defense around to right. Low outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Buddy Harrelson remains on the shortstop side of the diamond, but pulls over toward the middle. And Wayne Garrett retreats to his left toward the hole. Swing and a miss. Curveball. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Willie Stargent. You can't believe how hard he swings the bat. Richie Zisk will be up next. Strike 3 call. What a pitch on the outside corner by Jerry Koosman. For Jerry, his 6th strikeout of the game. He has great stuff going here tonight. Now Richie Zisk coming up. He has lined out to Cleon Jones, been thrown out by Bud Harrelson. And the pitch by Jerry Koosman, a little bit high, 1 ball and no strikes. 1 out and nobody on. 6th inning, Pittsburgh 1, New York nothing. Fly ball hit foul down the right field line into the crowd. 1 ball and 1 strike to Richie Zisk. Pirates leading hitter batting at .338. High on a fastball, 2-1. Then when San Guillen went back behind the plate, Zisk started playing a great deal in the outfield. The 2-1 pitch. Fouled down the right field line by about a yard. And the count is 2-2. The Phillies 4 and the Cardinals 3. Philadelphia hitting in the bottom half of the 5th inning. This afternoon, Chicago defeated Montreal 5-4. The 2-2 pitch. Fastball high and he held up. Full count 3-2 on Richie Zisk. Phil Campbell was the winner for Minnesota and Blue Moon Odom the loser. Koosman 3-2 on Richie Zisk. The payoff pitch. Low inside, ball 4. 4th walk by Jerry Koosman. And the hitter is Manny Sanguillen. The Baltimore Orioles leading Detroit 6-0 in the 4th inning. The Oriole magic number is 5. Hit of the air to short right field again, running in hard to stop, and he'll make the catch. Now Rusty throws to first, trying for a double play, can't get it. Sanguillen almost dropping another hit into the outfield. He dropped one of those parachutes in the 4th inning. It helped build the only run of the ball game. This time Staub was able to get to it in short right center. Bob Robertson, the first baseman. Grounder hit hard. It will go foul down the left field line, strike 1. Bob Robertson has reached on a walk and taken a call, 3rd strike. A pitch he did not like, and he argued with plate umpire John McSherry about it. And the pitch on the way. Hit hard, taken on a hop by Wayne Garrett. He throws to beyond, 3rd out. Wicked shot. Handled by Wayne Garrett, a low line drive he took on the first hop. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. In the middle of the 6th inning, the Pirates 1 and the Mets nothing.
You're listening to Mets Baseball on WKAJ-FM 102.3 on your FM dial, serving you from Saratoga Springs, New York.
Jerry Koosman leads off the last of the 6th inning. The Mets have only 1 hit, a single by Wayne Garrett in the 3rd inning. Koosman has been equally strong. He's allowed 1 run, which was unearned, and given up just 2 hits. And the pitch by Rooker. Fastball, a bit high, 1 ball and no strikes. Mike Wallace was hit by a batted ball in the game at Philadelphia and had to leave the game, and Darrell Brandon came in. He was hit on the left elbow. Ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes to Jerry Koosman. The 2-0 pitch by Jim Rooker. Koosman taking all the way. It's over a strike, 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. Ball 3, low outside. That just missed. Rooker walked 1 in the 1st and 1 in the 2nd, but has not walked the batter since then. The 3-1 pitch. Ball 4. Koosman has drawn a walk. Third walk. That's the draw. Wayne Garrett coming coming up. Now the crowd at Shea starts turning on. And you can hear the Let's Go Mets cries all around the stadium. Cal Maxwell comes over from shortstop and talks to Jim Rooker. The Pirates set up to play for the sacrifice. Hebner is in close at third. Garrett is the batter. He squares, bunts the ball back toward the mound. Rooker is throwing to second in time. They force the lead runner, Jerry Kuzma. 1 out and 1 on. With a runner at first base, Felix Millan coming up, batting at .291. Felix has drawn a walk and hit into a force play, nothing for 1. Garrett trying to move Kuzma over. But Rooker made a good play. He reached the bunt and fired the ball hard to the shortstop, Maxwell. Millan digging in, trying to get the second hit of the ball game for the New York Mets. Kick of the leg, around comes the arm to the runner, goes, ground ball, bounce toward the hole. Maxwell, the backhand play, the throw, not in time. Base hit on a hit and run play. Maxwell was on his way to second to cover. Has to slam on the brakes. He came back going toward the hole, made a backhand play beautifully. Had the ball gone into the outfield, Garrett would have gone around to third. So Maxwell made quite a play. He had no chance to throw out beyond. Runners on first and second, 1 man away. The batter, Rusty Stein. Rusty has been into a 3-6-3 double play and grounded out second to first. So far in the game, Rooker has induced almost every batter into hitting a ground ball. The crowd really on now. Here's the pitch to Stein. And a fly ball into right center field. Back goes Al Oliver. He'll get under it, and he makes the catch. Garrett tags up, and he'll race to third after the grab. Well hit by Rusty Stein. Deep to the outfield, but playable for Al Oliver. That is the first long outfield fly hit in the game of Jim Rooker. Leon Jones has bounced to short, bounced back to the mound, nothing for 2. And the pitch on the way. Line drive into left field, a base hit. Coming home to score is Garrett. The game is tied 1-1. Dal Maxwell, the number 8 man in the order, and here is Kuzma's pitch swung on. It's foul back, out of play on the count of 2 strikes. Dal Maxwell was at the plate in the fourth inning. No score in the ball game, and he hit a ground ball to short that should have ended the inning, but Harrelson's throw was in the dirt for an error, and the Pirates scored the first run. Here's a swing and a foul ball up to the left side out of play. But in the bottom of the sixth, Leon Jones drove in the tying run, and we're in a 1-1 tie here. The Mets and the Pirates, Shea Stadium in New York. Jim Rooker is out there on deck. Here is the pitch, and it's a curveball high and away, so it goes to 1-2 now to Dal Maxwell. Guzman has struck out 6 and walked 4. Into the motion, here's the 1-2 delivery, and it's high for a ball, so it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Outfield defense shaded toward right on the right-hand batter, Dal Maxwell. Jerry Grody sends out the sign, sets up the target. Guzman goes into the motion. Here's the 2-2 pitch, swung on, hit in the air to right field. Perfect position for Rusty Staub, who makes the catch. He was over toward the line, and the ball was hit right there. That will bring up Jim Rooker. He has struck out and grounded out. He began his professional baseball career as an outfielder in the Detroit Tigers organization. Swings a pretty good bat. He's hitting .233 so far this year. He's driven in 2 runs. Jim Rooker, a right-hand batter. Now Guzman into the motion, and the pitch is swung on and missed, strike 1. Alan Foster has given way to Alan Roboski on the mound for the St. Louis Cardinals, with the Phillies batting in the 6th. Here's the pitch in for a strike. It's 0-2 now to Jim Rooker. Bob Boone hit his 10th home of the year in the 6th for the Philadelphia Phillies. Here's a pitch just missing low. So it's 1-2 to Rooker, followed in the order by Richie Hebner. Guzman takes a look around. A little breeze blowing now, just ripping the flag out toward right on the flagstaff in center field. Here's the 1-2 delivery, swung on and fouled off, rolling back. So the count holds at 1-2 to Jim Rooker. Paid crowd here tonight at 24,855 runs the Mets' total paid attendance at Shea Stadium this season to 1,710,015. Now Rooker is back in. Nobody on base with 1 man out. Guzman goes into the motion, the 1-2 delivery. Swung on a check on. He took it around for a swinging strike. John McSherry hesitated just a moment before he gave the strike sign as Rooker started to swing at the high pitch and tried to lay off. It is a swinging strikeout. Number 7 for Guzman. Richie Hebner's coming up. Hebner was forced into action after Rennie Stennett went out with a full muscle on the left side of the rib cage. Jim McKee is throwing in the bullpen now for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Jim McKee. Guzman's pitch to the left-hand batter breaks high and tight. 1-0. Hebner played against the Met right-hander Tom Seaver in the first game out in Pittsburgh. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Swung on and hit high into the air to deep right field. It is way back. Rusty Staub goes to the wall. It is a home run for Richie Hebner. Hebner with a home run off the left-hander. It is his 24th of the year, and the Pittsburgh Pirates go out in front by a score of 2-1. Richie Hebner, who did not start the ball game because the Mets started a left-hand pitcher, pressed into service when Rennie Stennett pulled a muscle, now has hit a home run off Guzman to put the Pirates out in front by a score of 2-1. Dave Cash is up. He's a right-hand batter, 1 for 3 tonight. Pitch is inside for a ball. It's 1-0. The hits are all even in the ball game. The Pirates have had 3 and the Mets have had 3. Here's Guzman again delivering a 1-0, and this one is dipped in for a called strike. It's 1-1. Dave Cash questions the call of plate umpire John McSherry. Here's the 1-1. Curveball, it misses high, so it's 2-1 now. That home run was hit with 2 men out. Getting a little action started down in the Met bullpen now. There's a swing and a base hit into right center field. Rusty Staub over into the alley, scooped it up, and Cash holds with a single to right center field. Ray Sadecki is up and throwing. Ray Sadecki is throwing in the Met bullpen. Left-hand batter Al Oliver's coming up. Fly to center, grounded out twice, 0 for 3. The Pirates 2 and the Mets 1. The Pirates are batting in the top of the 7th inning. Goodman sets up, checks Cash at first. Here's the pitch, and it's outside low for a ball, 1-0. Milner is holding against the runner at first base. Goodman again sets and deals, and pitches inside for a ball. 2-0 to Al Oliver, who is followed in the order by Wilbur Stargell. Outfield defense set straight away and deep against Al Oliver. Time called as Bud Harrelson comes in from his post at shortstop to have a word with his pitcher, Jerry Koosman. Koosman takes off his cap to mop his brow. Harry Parker is out there throwing also now with Sadecki. Right-hander Harry Parker, left-hander Ray Sadecki. John McSherry, the plate umpire, started to the mound, but the conference breaks up. Harrelson jogs back to his post at short. The count to Oliver is 2-0. This is a 2-0 delivery on the way. And it is low for a ball. Down at Philadelphia, the Cardinals tied at 4-4 with 2 out in the 6th as McBride was hit by a pitch and came around on Simmons' double. Here's the pitch in for a call strike. It's 3-1. But the Bills came back in their half of the 6th with 1 away. Boone hit his 10th homer, and with 2 gone, Luzinski hit number 29. Here's a throw to first, not in time. When Robinson doubled, Roboski replaced Foster. Montañez was hit by a pitch. Schmidt beat out a hit loading the bases. Boyle was called out on strikes. The Phils are leading 6-4. Swinging a ground ball by Oliver to second base. Millan has it. Goes to first in time, and the side is retired. So it is 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left. And in the middle of the 7th inning, the score is the Pirates 2 and the Mets 1.
WKAJ-FM 102.3 on your FM dial, serving you from Saratoga Springs, New York.
In tennis, Billie Jean King reeled off 3 straight games for a 6-3 victory in the second set. She won the first set 6-4, and she won the second set over Bobby Riggs 6-3. Right here, the Mets are trailing by a run with Jerry Grote up in the bottom of the 7th. The Met crowd has been up and stretching midway of the 7th inning, and they are ready to lend whatever verbal support they may to the Met cause here. Jim Rooker has allowed the Mets 1 run on 3 hits so far. Grote is the number 6 man in the order, so the Met bullpen continues to stay warm. Rooker looks in to get a sign from Manny Sanguia, and he has it, dips into the motion. Here's the pitch to Grote, hit in the air, foul to the right side, out of play. It's strike 1. Rooker has struck out 4, he's walked 3 here tonight. Mets got to him for a run in the 6th inning when he walked Koosman. Garrett bunted into a force play, but then Millan single, and after Rusty Staub flied out, Cleon Jones single to drive in the run, and then Milner was called out on strikes, leaving 2 men stranded. Now Willie Stargell is up, swings and sends a ground ball foul back at first base. It is strike one to Willie Stargell. Pirates are batting in the top of the 8th inning. Jerry Kuzman still on the mound for the New York Mets. Stargell tonight has struck out, walked, and struck out. Kuzman's delivery swung on, broken bat, ground ball to shortstop. Harrelson has it, goes to first in time. Stargell's out. Broke the bat on the 3-2 ground ball to short. We pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
You're listening to Mets Baseball on WKAJ-FM 102.3 on your FM dial, serving you from Saratoga Springs, New York.
This is Lindsey Nelson with Ralph Counter and Bob Murphy at Shea Stadium in New York, and Richie Zisk is up. Right-hand batter. Kuzman pitches in for a called strike. The Pirates are leading by a score of 2-1, and they're batting in the top of the 8th. Zisk has lined to left, grounded out, and walked so far tonight. It's the curveball foul back of third out of play. 2-strike count now to Richie Zisk. He's followed in the order by the Panamanian catcher, Manny Sanguillen. Zisk is back in and waiting. Here's the 0-2 shot. Taken high. He started to go but did not pull the trigger. Richie Zisk, born in Brooklyn, reared in the Queens, went to high school in New Jersey. One-two delivery now to Zisk. Swung on and this got him with a breaking pitch. Strikeout number 8 for Jerry Kuzman. 2 Pirates out. Manny Sanguillen's coming up. He looped the base hit into right center into fourth to help build the Pirate run. He flied out to right in the 6th. He is overall 1 for 3 for the night. He's a right-hand batter. Pirates 2 runs, 4 hits. The Mets 1 run, 3 hits. Here's Kuzman's delivery. Lace foul up the left field line was a breaking pitch, and Sanguillen got around and drilled it up the line. Foul. Strike 1. Bob Robertson has moved out on deck. The Commissioner of Baseball, Bowie Kuhn, is here tonight. Seated in the club box to the home plate side of the Mets dugout. Now the pitch. Curveball pops up to deep short. Harrelson on the outfield grass. And the side is retired. Nothing across. And in the middle of the 8th inning, the score is the Pirates 2 and the Mets 1. Pittsburgh Pirates will be here again tomorrow night. That'll be their final appearance of the season here. St. Louis Cardinals will be here Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon. Monday's an off day, and then the Montreal Expos are in on Tuesday night, and it's Willie Mays night. Some of the outstanding players in the history of the game will be here to help the fans honor Willie Mays, who today announced his retirement, effective at the end of the season as an active player. Then Montreal will be here for a night game on the 26th. That will conclude the home schedule for the Mets this year. Tickets are now on sale at a wide variety of convenient ticket locations all around the town for those games. In tennis, Bobby Riggs started service in the first game of the 3rd set, but Mrs. King broke him as he won only 1 point. She then held her own serve with 2 straight points at deuce to take a 2-0 lead. So Billie Jean King won the first 2 sets, 6-4, 6-3, and she is leading 2-love in this set. Jim Beecham is going to come out to bat for Kuzman now. As the Mets come up in the bottom of the 8th inning, it'll be Jim Beecham to bat for Jerry Kuzman. It was Jim Beecham who started the 5-run rally in Pittsburgh night before last with a pinch hit leading off the 9th inning. But not leading off, with 1 man out, actually. He batted for the pitcher and got a base hit. Beecham is hitting .267. He has 14 runs batted in. Right-hand batter facing left-hand pitcher Jim Rooker, who's been in all the way. The Pirates are leading 2-1 as the Mets come up in the bottom of the 8th inning. Rooker has struck out 4, walked 3. Started the night with a record of 9 wins, 5 losses. That pitch is a fastball high and away, so it's 1-0. Wayne Garrett is on deck. Now the 1-0 delivery. In there for a called strike. It's 1-1 to Beecham. Harry Parker throwing in the Met bullpen. Hooker starts work with the 1-1. And it's hit into left field, hanging in there for a base hit. Retrieved now by Stargell and played back, and Jim Beecham has delivered a pitch single to left. With nobody out, the tying run is at first base, and Garrett is trying to read the sign of Eddie Yost at third to see if the sacrifice is on. Garrett attempted to sacrifice in the 6th inning and bunted into a forced play. Now here comes a runner. Martinez will run for Beecham. Martinez is running for Beecham, who gets a hand as he goes back to the dugout. Martinez probably would have started at third base tonight in place of Garrett against the left-hander, but for the fact that Martinez, had a sore throat. Now he's being used as a pinch runner. Richie Hebner at third moves up on the grass. The Pirates, of course, expect the Mets to be sacrificing. Rooker sets up. Here's the pitch. Garrett's around. Bunts the ball up the first baseline. Fielded by Robertson. Goes to first in time, and holding at second is Martinez. Second baseman Dave Cash came over to cover, and Robertson almost threw it away. He had to shift to the outside. The tying run is at second with one man out, and Felix Dillon will be coming up. If you're scoring on the sacrifice by Garrett, it goes 3-4. Dillon has walked, grounded into a forced play, and on the hit-and-run play, got an infield hit. Pirates are holding a conference now. Second baseman Dave Cash, shortstop Dal Maxwell, pitcher Jim Rooker, and catcher Manny Sanguillen all in conference. They start heating up the bullpen even more. Bob Johnson up and throwing once again, and Ramon Hernandez is now throwing in the Pirate bullpen. Now Sanguillen comes back behind the plate. Meanwhile, Bernie Carbo has hit a home run for the St. Louis Cardinals in the 7th. The Phillies now lead the Cards 6-5. Dillon is in and waiting, choking up on that bat now. Martinez takes his lead at second base. Here's the pitch, and it's in there for a called strike. Rusty Staub is on deck. One man out, Martinez. Running for Jim Beecham at second base. Outfield defense shaded toward right against Felix Millan. Millan hitting .292 for the year, has 3 home runs and 35 runs batted in. Jim Rooker now bends forward to take the sign, hands on his knees. Has it, he sets up, checks the runner back at second. Here's the pitch, swung on and looped out of the right center field. It's going to be in for a base hit. Martinez only goes to third and holds up. And now he gets the green light. Martinez comes to the plate. He scores. Dillon is safe at second base. The score is tied. The Pirates 2 and the Mets 2. The ball was fumbled in the outfield. Martinez has made the dash for the plate. The throw went to second base. Dillon is safe there. This stadium is a madhouse. That ball was looped out in the right center field. Martinez held up to see whether or not it would be in there. He advanced to third and would have stayed there except for the fact that the ball was overrun at first by Al Oliver, and then when he picked it up, he dropped it. And Era is charged against Oliver, and Era against Oliver, a single to Millan. No run batted in. The score is tied. 2-2, and Rusty Staub is up. The go-ahead run is in scoring position at second with one man out. It's a swing and a drive, one hop, taken by first baseman Robertson. He goes to the bag. He is out and going to third is Millan. That was a shot hit right down the line by Rusty Staub. But Bob Robertson was playing a deep first base and guarding the line. With a big swing of the glove, he brought it up on the short hop. Then went to the bag. So Cleon Jones comes to the plate. Millan is at third. Here comes Mel Wright, the pitching coach of the Pirates, out to the mound. Mel Wright is going to the mound. They got the bullpen warm with Bob Johnson and Ramon Hernandez. The Mets have tied it up at 2-2 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. They're making a bid to take the lead. Cleon Jones will be coming up. He had a base hit to drive in the first net run in the 6th inning. He drove in 5 last night with 2 home runs. The conference continues at the Mount. In tennis, Riggs got on the board in the 3rd set by holding service in the 3rd game to trail 2-1. Bobby then broke her serve to make it 2-2. So Billie Jean King and Bobby Riggs are even at 2-2 in the 3rd set. Billie Jean King won the first 2 sets 6-4, 6-3. Now Cleon Jones is going to be put on. They will not pitch to Jones with Milner on deck. Cleon Jones is being intentionally walked. There it is outside for a ball. That was the purpose of the strategy meeting. Do we pitch to Jones, who has decimated Pirate pitching in this series? And the decision was no, we do not. We pitch to the left-hand batter, John Milner, who tonight has walked, grounded out, and struck out. There is ball 4, an intentional walk to Cleon Jones. He goes to first. Felix Leon holds it steered, and John Milner's coming up to try to hang in there against the left-hander. The pitcher for the New York Mets is Harry Parker, coming in to make his 36th appearance. Last time out, he worked 2 2/3 here on Sunday against the Chicago Cubs. He allowed no runs and only 1 hit. He went out when he was struck on the thumb by a batted ball. He has a record of 7 wins and 3 losses. Right-hander Harry Parker. Guzman worked 8 innings. He gave up 2 runs on 5 hits. He struck out 8 and he walked 4. Philadelphia Phillies did not score in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Cardinals are coming up in the 8th now, with the Phillies leading them by a score of 6-5. Max Scarce against Diego Segui in that ball game now. This afternoon, the Cubs beat Montreal 5-4, and the Giants beat Cincinnati 7-5. Atlanta is in Los Angeles in a later start. Bob Robertson will lead it off for the Pittsburgh Pirates in the top of the 9th inning. Parker has an ERA of 3.34. He's had 5 saves this year. Right-hand power hitter Bob Robertson. Here is Parker with a pitch high and tight. And in jerking his head back to get away, a hard hat flew off the head of Robertson. He wears the soft cap underneath, and he has to retrieve each separately because they went in different directions. And he went in yet another. Sore thumb might make Parker conveniently wild. It's 1-0. Dal Maxwell is on deck. Outfield defense straight away and deep against Bob Robertson. Here's Parker again with a pitch. It's high. He goes behind 2-0. True delivery. In there for a called strike. It's 2-1. Dave Parker has been moving around the dugout of the Pittsburgh Pirates with a bat. Here's a swing and a miss. It's strike 2. Robertson batting number 7 in the order for the Pirates. He's played a lot more for Danny Murtaugh than he did for Bill Burton before the managerial change was made. Here's the 2-2 delivery. Curveball, just missed. Just missed the outside corner. He came over the top, and the count is out full at 3-2 now. St. Louis Cardinals did not score in the 8th. Here's a pitch high, and it's a walk. A leadoff walk issued to Robertson by Harry Parker, and Dow Maxwell will be the batter. Maxwell has walked, on an arrow, fly to right. He looks down to see if the sacrifice is on, and Bill Mazeroski, the coach at third, is flashing the sign for him. The Phillies are batting in the bottom of the 8th inning, leading the Cardinals by a score of 6-5. Dave Augustine started out, now he comes on to run. Dave Augustine is going to run for Robertson, who is out of the ball game. Dave Augustine runs for Robertson. Maxwell at the plate. Gary down on the grass at third, expecting a sacrifice. He's around. He punts the ball to the first base side. Parker has it. He goes to the uncovering. That moves runner Dave Augustine to second base. The sacrifice goes 1-4 if you're scoring. Now big Dave Parker is going to come up to bat for the pitcher, Jim Rooker. Dave Parker will bat for Rooker. Dave Parker is hitting .273. He's had 4 homers and 12 runs batted in. Rooker is out of the ballgame. After having pitched 8 innings, 2 runs on 5 hits, he struck out 4 and he walked 4, one of them intentionally. Dave Parker's a left-hand batter, and he is big. Dave Augustine leads at second base. The pitch is in for a called strike. Bob Johnson, Ramon Hernandez throwing in the Pirate bullpen. Johnson the right-hander, Hernandez the left-hander. This is an 0-1 delivery. Swung on and missed. Jammed him in on the fifth and got him on a little side arc swing. It's 0-2 now. Richie Hebner is on deck. Hebner had a home run in the 7th inning to break what was at that time a 1-1 tie. This will be an 0-2 delivery to Dave Parker. And a fastball just missed inside. Just missed. And it really popped into that glove of Jerry Grody. It's 1-2 now to Parker. He was a little undecided about what to do. Decided to take it and then wondered. He looked quickly at umpire John McSherry. Augustine leads at second. Here's a pitch. Swung on and missed. Actually tipped back into the glove of Grody for a strikeout. Now Yogi Berra's coming out to have a strategy conference. He wants to know how Parker feels about pitching to Hebner. Would he rather put Hebner on, first base is open, and pitch to Dave Cash, a right-hand batter? You may recall that in Pittsburgh night before last, manager Yogi Berra walked Wilbur Stargell, who was at that time the possible winning run. But the strategy worked successfully. Ray Sadecki's up and throwing in the Met bullpen again now. The decision has been made, whatever it is. Hebner is 1 for 3 for the night, hit a home run to 7th, and they're going to walk him and pitch to Cash. An intentional walk will be issued to Hebner. It's outside for a ball. Outside ball 2. Dave Augustine leading off the bag with each successive pitch out there at second. Dave Cash is waiting on deck. Dave Cash is 2 for 4. He had a single. He grounded out short to first, grounded out third to first, and had another single. Dave Cash is hitting .263 for the season. He has 2 home runs and 26 runs batted in. Hebner skips down to first base now. Augustine holds at second. 2 men are out. Score tied 2-2. Pirates batting in the top of the 9th inning. Dave Cash at the plate. Jerry Grody sends a sign out to Harry Parker. Curveball, and it's in there for a called strike. Came over the top and broke it right through the strike zone. It's 0-1 to Dave Cash. Pirate runners lead at first and second. 2 men are out. Parker's pitch. Low for a ball and outside. It's 1-1. Al Oliver is on deck. Runners again lead first and second. 1-1 delivery, and it's inside. 2-1 to Dave Cash. Sadecki continues to throw down on the bullpen. Sadecki is, of course, a left-hander. The Pirates have successive left-hand batters following Cash, Oliver, and Stargell. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Swung on and popped up foul, backing out of play. Behind the plate, back into the seats, and the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Harry Parker goes back, touches his fingertips to the rosin bag, steps up on the rubber now. Looks into Jerry Grody. Dave Augustine, the runner at second base. Richie Hebner at first. Here's a swing and a drive into left field, and coming around third, coming on to score is Augustine. Hebner goes to third, the throw goes to second, and he is safe at second. For the Pittsburgh Pirates now, Dave Augustine, who came in to run in the last inning, stays in the ball game in center field, and Al Oliver moves over to play first base. And Bob Johnson comes in to do the pitching. Bob Johnson is making his 45th appearance of the year. He has a record of 4 wins and 2 losses. Last time out against the Mets. Night before last in Pittsburgh, he went 2/3 of an inning, allowed no runs and no hits. Bob Johnson, who is himself a former New York Met. Ken Boswell is going to come up now to bat for the New York Mets. Boswell will bat for Grody. This is a righty-lefty switch. Boswell being used as a pinch hitter for Jerry Grody. Boswell is hitting .215. He's had 2 home runs, both of them pinch homers, and 14 runs batted in this season. The Phillies are batting in the bottom of the 8th inning at Philadelphia, still leading the Cardinals by a score of 6-5. Boswell throughout the season has been the Mets' #1 left-hand batting pinch hitter. Rooker went 8 innings, gave up 2 runs on 5 hits, struck out 4, walked 4, one of them intentionally, has left the game as pitcher of record on the long side of the 3-2 score. The Mets are 1 run short as they come up in the bottom of the 9th. Now Boswell is in and waiting. Right-hander Bob Johnson takes the sign from catcher Manny Sanguilla. Here's Johnson's first pitch. Swung on, and it's looped out into right field for a base hit. Ball's in safely. Hustled up by Richie Siskin. Boswell has opened up the bottom of the 9th with a single to right. Don Hahn is the batter. Don Hahn has gone 0 for 3 tonight. He looks down to Eddie Yost to see if the sacrifice is on. Al Oliver at first over to hold against the runner. Richie Hebner on the grass at third, fully expecting a sacrifice bunt. He does bunt to the first base side, and it is taken there by Al Oliver. He makes the play at first after having missed on a tag attempt. The sacrifice goes 3-4, and moving to second is Boswell. Oliver came in to field the ball. He tried to tag hard as he went by, missed him, then had to make the play back to Dave Cash covering at first base. But it moved the potential tying run into scoring position at second base, and Bud Harrelson is coming up. Harrelson has gone 0 for 3 tonight. Ed Craneville has moved out on deck. Ed Craneville moves out on deck now, and Harrelson turns. He was already up there at the batter's box. He turned and walks back to the dugout. Yogi Berra is going to his bench right now. He's going to send Craneville up to bat for Harrelson. So Craneville is swinging a bat there in the on-deck circle. Conference at the mound now for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Hebner comes over. Cash comes over. Luther Barnes goes down toward the bullpen now to loosen up his arm. Luther Barnes, who is an infielder, that's protecting themselves since Harrelson is out of the ballgame now. Now let's be batting in the bottom of the ninth inning. The Pirates are leading by a score of 3-2. Here comes Mel Wright, the pitching coach. Out to the mound now. He's got Ramon Hernandez, a left-hander, out there in the bullpen if he wants to go to him. And I think he does the way he's looking. Sign goes down there for Hernandez. Hernandez will be brought in here. Of course, Yogi Berra does not have to leave Craneville up there now. Problem is that he is almost bereft of right-hand batters. Duffy Dyer, Lute Barnes, Willie Mays, those are his eligible men. Ramon Hernandez is coming in to make his 56th appearance. He has a record of 4 wins and 5 losses. Night before last against the Mets, he went 2 innings, gave up 4 runs on 4 hits. Ramon Hernandez getting the ride in. Meanwhile, in tennis, Bobby Riggs held his serve in the 7th game as Mrs. King began serving with a 4-3 lead. He swept the game with a loss of only 1 point to go 5-3 after 8 games. Mrs. King then made it game, set, and match with a break after several deuce points to win it all, 6-4, 6-3, 6-3. So Billie Jean King has defeated Bobby Riggs 6-4, 6-3, 6-3. Tonight the Phillies have beaten St. Louis 6-5. And the Mets are trailing by a run here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Now coming out is George Theodore. We forgot George Theodore. George Theodore, who has not appeared since he went on the disabled list. Theodore is coming out for the first time since he went on the disabled list after his collision with Hahn in the outfield here at Shea. And he comes out swinging bats. George Theodore, the rookie who twice was badly injured in his first season in the majors. It was July 7th that he was in the collision with Hahn here. He had a dislocated hip. He went on the disabled list, and this will be his first appearance since. Theodore is batting for Craneville. George Theodore marches around now. Theodore was batting .261 when he went out of action. He had 1 homer and 15 runs batted out. He is a tall, gangling right-hand batter. Now Ramon Hernandez with his first pitch, and it is taken high for a ball. There's 1 man out. Boswell is at second. The Pirates are leading 3-2. George Theodore wears glasses there at the plate. Here's the 1-0 delivery, and it's in for a called strike, 1-1. He was struck in the face by a pitch ball in San Diego. The glasses were shattered earlier this year. In Philadelphia, Darrell Brandon was the winner and Alan Foster was the loser as the Phillies beat the Cardinals 6-5. Hernandez again bent forward to get the sign. Sets up. Here's the 1-1 to Theodore, and it breaks low for a ball. It's 2-1. Hernandez again. Bending forward, sets up. 2-1 delivery, and it's in there for a called strike, 2-2. Theodore now settles into the batter's box, swings that bat a time or two, points it out toward the pitcher characteristically. Hernandez shakes off one time. Now he's ready. Here's the 2-2. And it's in there for a called strike three. Caught him looking at a 2-2 fastball. So Theodore has been called out on strike. 2 away. The Mets are down to their last out of the ball game as Duffy Dyer comes around to bat for Harry Parker. Duffy Dyer is hitting .181. He had 1 home run and 8 runs batted in. Dyer now in the batter's box, swinging the bat loosely. Boswell leads at second base. He's the tying run there. 2 men are out. The Pirates are leading by a score of 3-2. Pitch to Duffy Dyer. Swung on and hit in the air to deep left field. It's way back toward the wall, and Starkey can't get it. It's off the wall. Boswell comes on to score. Play at second. Dyer slides in with a double, and the score is tied at 3-3. Is a bedlam. Duffy Dyer with a double off the left field wall. The score is tied 3-3. Wayne Garrett is coming up. The winning run is at second base. It is the first run batted in. No pitch here. It is the first run batted in since July 10th by Duffy Dyer. As Hernandez has started to deliver to Wayne Garrett. Time was called by Yogi Berra, and it's Greg Hart coming in to run for Dyer. Greg Hart is running for Dyer. The ovation is for Duffy Dyer. Greg Hart is running for Duffy Dyer at second base. 2 men out, score tied 3-3, and Wayne Garrett at the plate. Hernandez with a pitch to the left-hand batter, and it's blowing away for a ball. It is the first run batted in by Duffy Dyer since July 10th. He hit the wall in left on the fly for the double. Hernandez with a pitch to Garrett. In there for a strike. Garrett started to swing and laid off. Garrett tonight is 1 for 3 in a sacrifice. This place is a bedlam. As the Mets again have come back from the brink to tie the score at 3-3. Felix Leon is waiting on deck as Hernandez sets up. Offers 1-1. Here's a swing and a miss. It's 1-2. Ray Sadecki is throwing in the Met bullpen. Hernandez walks back to the infield grass behind the mound. Fingers the rosin bag. The count is 1 ball and 2 strikes to Wayne Garrett at the plate. Greg Hart leading at second base. Now the ball is dropped on the mound for a balk. That is a balk. The ball is dropped, and Greg Hart goes to third. As he started to come up with the ball and come set, Hernandez drops the ball. That is a balk. Greg Hart is awarded third base. The count is 1-2. The New York Mets now. Ray Sadecki comes in to do the pitching. Ron Hodges will do the catching. Boswell stays in at third base, and Garrett moves to shortstop. So those are the Mets changes. Ray Sadecki, left-hander, coming in to make his 30th appearance. He has a record of 4 wins and 4 losses. Last time out, night before last at Pittsburgh, he went 3 innings against the Pirates, allowed no runs and 1 hit. Ron Hodges the catcher, Ray Sadecki the pitcher, Wayne Garrett the shortstop, and Boswell is the third baseman. Wilbur Stargell will lead it off for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Boswell bats 6, Hodges bats 8, Sadecki bats 9. But now Sadecki faces the Pirates. Stargell tonight has gone 0 for 3 and a walk. Windmills that bat around as left-hander Ray Sadecki goes into the motion, and here is his pitch. Swung on, hit high up in the air to right center field. Rusty Staub comes up to the pond. Staub calls and makes the catch. A towering pop fly. That will bring up Richie Zisk. For the Baltimore Orioles now, their magic number is 4. Richie Zisk is at the plate, having gone 0 for 3 and a walk tonight, right-hand batter. 1 man out, nobody on. Sadecki delivers, and it's low for a ball. Long during the season, Sadecki picked up a slip pitch that he uses as a change of pace. Now the 1-0 offering, and the fastball misses outside. It's 2-0. Again, the left-hander deals, and that one tipped right in there for a called strike. Manny Sanguillen is waiting on deck now for the Pittsburgh Pirates. They have that bullpen warming up once again. They work down through the batting order, batting here in the top half of the 10th inning. Dave Justy, Jim McKee in the bullpen. Here's a pitch. Swung on, foul out to the right side, out of play. Count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 is the count to Richie Zisk. Sadecki taking a little time. A little war and nerves going on here. 2-2 delivery. In there for a call, strike 3. Sadecki tips it in for the second out. 2 away, and Manny Sanguillen is the batter. He popped to short. He had a base hit. He flied to right, and he popped to short again. He helped to build the first Pirate run. Back in the top of the 4th, it was an unearned run. He's a right-hand batter. Outfield defense is straight away. Wind is drifting the flag out toward right with no great velocity. Sadecki now ready to go, and swung on and lined into left field. Hanging up there. Jones comes over to make the catch. Leon Jones came over to make the catch of a line drive that managed to hang up long enough for him to grab it. And the side is retired in order, nothing across. In the middle of the 10th inning, the score is tied. The Pirates 3 and the Mets 3. Jim McKee comes in to do the pitching. Jim McKee, a right-hander, is in to pitch for the Pittsburgh Pirates. He is making his 13th appearance. He has no won or loss record. In the first game of the series on Monday night in Pittsburgh, he pitched 3 innings and gave up no runs and only 4 hits. Jim McKee was at Charleston for a good part of the year, where he won 7 and lost 5, had an ERA of 3.55, struck out 72, and walked 44. During August, in the International League, he had a record of 6 wins and no losses, an earned run average of 1.19, and that's what got him the trip to Pittsburgh. 2 of his August wins were shutouts, and 5 were complete games. Jim McKee. The right-hander will be facing Felix Millan, Rusty Staub, and Cleon Jones as the Mets bat in the bottom of the 10th trying to pull it out. Millan is coming around to lead it off. Leon. In and waiting now, and McKee delivers, swung on, and it is looped out into first base, where it's taken by Al Oliver, almost into right field, we were going to say, as Oliver retreated and took it one step onto the outfield grass, back to first. Actually, Felix Leon was sort of moving back as he hit the ball in the air down to first, one away, and Rusty Staub will be the batter. Rusty Staub has gone 0 for 4 here tonight. Conference at the mound now, Sanguian talking to McKee. Staub for the year is hitting .268. He's had 14 home runs and 69 runs batted in. Score tied 3-3. Mets batting in the bottom of the 10th, Shea Stadium in New York. McKee goes into the motion. The pitch to Rusty Staub, and it's a fastball in there for a called strike. 1-1. Richie Hebner even with the bag at third. Wind again blows a little dust across the infield, and Rusty Staub steps out at the plate. McKee reads the sign from Manny Sanguian, offers 1-1. It's a swing and a high pop off the line of third, and Hebner is there, and he... And now Ray Sadecki will face Dave Augustine as the Pirates bat in the top of the 11th inning. Augustine came on as a pinch runner in the 9th inning and stayed in the ball game. He's been up only twice. He's had a hit one time, so he's batting .500. He is a right-hand batter with excellent speed. Boswell, even with the bag at third, and the stride over guarding the line. Getting advice from shortstop Wayne Garrett. Here's a pitch in for a called strike. 0-1. Dal Maxwell is on deck. Ron Hodges is the net catcher, and here's Sadecki's strike one delivery. Swung and hit on the ground foul onto the left side, just to the corner of the Pirate dugout. 0-2 the count. Augustine settles himself back into the batter's box. Outfield defense straight away against him. Now that the count's gone to 2 strikes, Boswell has retreated, playing a deeper third base, but still guarding the line. Fastball is inside low. It's 1-2. Augustine in the International League was hitting .276 this year. Hit 7 home runs, 52 runs batted in. 1-2 delivery. Swung on and hit on the ground. Foul back of third with a breaking pitch. So the count holds at 1-2. Hodges flashes the sign. 1-2 pitch. Swung on, fouled off. It holds at 1-2. Before tonight's ball game, we were talking to Ray Sadecki about his role this season with the New York Mets. He was in the bullpen at the start of the season. Matter of fact, wasn't used very much at all, either way. And then then, as the Mets got short-handed, he was moved into the starting rotation, did an outstanding job. And as they started making their run, he went back to the bullpen, where he has also done an excellent job. 1-2 pitch. Swung on and struck him out. Sadecki with his second strikeout. Now he'll pitch to Dow Maxwell. We were asking Sadecki if that bothered him, the fact of his changing roles. He said not at all. He was stimulated by it, delighted with the whole thing. Rube Walker, the Met pitching coach, has said that if you had a whole staff of Ray Sadecki's, there's one thing you'd never have, and that would be a personality problem. Because he doesn't complain about how he's used, or when he's used, or if he's used. When he's called on, he simply goes out and does the best he can. Pitch to the right hand batting, Dow Maxwell. In for a called strike. Maxwell 0 for 2 at walk and a sacrifice tonight. We're on the top of the 11th inning, and the score is tied at 3-3. Here's a pitch in for a called strike. It's 0-2. Maxwell started to swing late off and should have. Jim McKee is waiting on deck. There is no action in either bullpen. Outfield defense shaded toward right against Al Maxwell. That's in for a call, strike 3. Ray Sadecki spotted that pitch perfectly on the outside corner. That is his third strikeout. And now pitcher Jim McKee is coming up. He has batted only twice since coming up to the Pirates. He has not had a hit. He is 0 for 2. Jim McKee. He's a right-hand batter. Sadecki with the pitch. And it's zipped in there for a called strike. Final score in the American League. The Kansas City Royals have defeated the Chicago White Sox by a score of 10-3. Paul Splitoff gets the win. He's 18-11. Terry Forster takes the loss. He's 6-9. That pitch just misses, and it's 1-1. 2 men out, nobody on. Pirates batting in the top of the 11th inning. In the bottom of the 11th, the Mets will be sending John Milner, Ken Boswell, and Don Hahn to the plate. Here's the 1-1. Foul back off the screen and out of play. It's 1-2. They shade McKee to the right also, figuring he won't get around completely. Now Sadecki starts to work the 1-2. In there for a call, strike 3, and Sadecki has struck out the side. He has retired 6 consecutive batters and struck out 4 of them. What a job by Ray Sadecki. Nothing across. In the middle of the 11th inning, the score is tied. The Pirates 3 and the Mets 3.
Right about now in the game, chances are you're dying for something to munch, something to fill that empty space in your stomach. Well, let me make a suggestion. Try some Dairy Lean yogurt. It fills you up, not out. Many fresh, fruity flavors to choose from, so you know yours is in there someplace. Dairy Lean yogurt is cool, kind of like pudding, with chunks of real fruit swirled all through. But it's 99% fat-free. And you guys trying to stay athletic looking know what that means. It's always ready to eat, right out of the carton, anytime or anywhere. Like right now, for instance. But don't get the idea it's just for dieters. Everybody enjoys Dairy Lean yogurt these days. One reason for that is the good taste. So, if it's not around your house, put in a request for Dairy Lean yogurt from the good folks at Dairy Lean.
You're listening to Mets Baseball on WKAJ-FM 102.3 on your FM dial, serving you from Saratoga Springs, New York.
It is still Big Jim McKee on the mound. Tall, rangy right-hander for the Pittsburgh Pirates. He will be facing John Milner as the Mets come up here in the bottom of the 11th inning. John Milner, who leads the New York Mets in home runs with 22, who has knocked in 69 runs this year, who is hitting .249. Just behind him at this moment in the on-deck circle is Ken Boswell, who appeared as a pinch hitter in the 9th inning. Got a base hit. That was turned eventually into the tying run, so he stayed in the ball game. And when you're in a ball game like this and you have your big hitter at the plate, you're hopeful that he can get a hold of one and ride it. Mets are batting in the bottom of the 11th. For the Mets, 3 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. For the Pirates, 3 runs, 5 hits, 1 error. McKee starting his second inning of relief. He retired the side in order in the 10th. That is low for a ball. Started him off with an off-speed pitch. 1-0 is the count. Left-hand batting John Milner. The hammer. Waits for the 1-0. Takes low. It's 2-0 now to Milner. McKee wants another baseball, and he gets it. The game has begun at Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. The Atlanta Braves did not score in the top of the first. The Dodgers are coming to bat. Ron Schuler 8-7 against Al Downing 5-9. And now McKee tosses that ball into plate umpire John McSherry, who talks to him about it and puts another ball in play. And again starts out to ask McSherry what that's about. Now again, still talking to John McSherry, the plate umpire. The count is 2-0 to John Milner. Here's McKee with the pitch. It's high. 3-0 the count to Milner with Boswell on deck and nobody out. The hammer looks to see if the take is on. Frequently is not to him. But he is the power hitter who might rip a 3-0. He takes that one in there for a call strike, and it's 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike. Now the pitch. Low and he walks. It's a leadoff walk to John Milner. So the potential winning run is on at first with nobody out, and Boswell is coming up. Boswell is followed by Don Hahn and Ron Hodges in the mid-batting order. The Pirates will be expecting Hahn to sacrifice. Even now they have moved Richie Hebner up onto the grass at third. Al Oliver's holding against the runner, but ready to charge. Second baseman Dave Cash ready to make his move over to cover first. McKee has the sign, works off the stretch, checks the runner over his left shoulder to the pitch. Boswell is around, bunts the ball to the first base bounty. Good bunt. Oliver has to go to Cash, covering at first. The sacrifice moves over to second, and it scores 3-4. Don Hahn, who has delivered some big base hits in the past week for the New York Mets, is coming up. But Don Hahn, who night before last in Pittsburgh delivered the game-winning base hit that drove in 2 runs. Luke Walker and Dave Justy are up and throwing in the bullpen, and here comes Mel Wright bouncing out to the mound. If Mel Wright were getting paid mileage tonight, he'd make more than he will otherwise. He just been at that mound frequently. He's looking to the bullpen. The left-hander, they say. The left-hander would be Luke Walker, if I interpret the sign correctly. Luke Walker just got up to throw. Dave Justy is the other one out there. Walker's the right-hander. Don Hahn, a right-hand batter, will be at the plate. But followed by Ron Hodges, who delivered a clutch base hit night before last. He's a left-hand batter. And that's it. Walker's the guy who's going to come in here. Luke Walker is going to be brought in to make his 35th appearance. He has a record of 7 wins and 11 losses. Against the New York Mets. In this series, he has appeared in 1 inning, allowed no runs, no hits. Luke Walker. He worked last night for an inning. So, Big Jim McKee will be leaving. Having pitched an inning and a third, allowed no runs, no hits, struck out 1 and walked 1. When play is resumed, the New York Mets have a runner at second, 1 man out, and Don Hahn at the plate. So quickly, let's run the other baseball results of the day for you. At Wrigley Field in Chicago, the Cubs beat Montreal 5-4. Ferguson Jenkins, the winner, 13 and 15. Steve Renko, the loser, 14 and 11. Bob Bailey hit his 25th homer in the second with nobody on for Montreal. Tonight, the Phillies beat St. Louis 6-5. Joe Brandon got the win in relief. Alan Foster took the loss. Denny Doyle had a home run, and Bob Boone had a home run for the Philadelphia Phillies. San Francisco Giants beat Cincinnati 7-5. Ronnie Bryant got his 23rd win. He's lost 11. Dick Bainey took the loss 1-1. Foster had 2 home runs. George Foster. In the middle of the first inning, Atlanta nothing, and the Dodgers coming to bat. Ron Schuler against Al Downing. Over in the American League, the Baltimore Orioles reduced their magic number to 4 with a shutout of the Detroit Tigers 9-0. Jim Palmer the winner, 22-8. Woody Farmer the loser, 6-12. Kansas City beat the White Sox 10-3. Paul Splittorff the winner. Terry Forster the loser. Betty Pontek had a homer, his 5th. Cal Angels beat Texas 6-4. Bill Singer was the winner. Bill Gogolewski the loser. That was the first game of a doubleheader. The second game is midway of the 3rd inning. The Cal Angels leading 1-0. Frank Tanana against Steve Dunning. And the Minnesota Twins beat Oakland 4-3. Bill Campbell the winner. Blue Moon Odom the loser. Second game is midway of the 4th inning. Oakland leading 3-2. And right here, the Mets and the Pirates are tied 3-3. The Mets are batting in the bottom of the 11th inning. John Milner's the runner at second. There is one man out, and Don Hahn will be the batter just as soon as left-hander Luke Walker has finished warming up. Luke Walker has an ERA of 4.59. He has had 1 save to go along with that record of 7 wins and 11 losses. So Don Hahn is up there. We were talking to him last night before the ball game about what confidence can do for you, and what it can do for you is make the other team give you an intentional walk, which they're doing right now. They're going to walk Don Hahn with first base open and pitch to the left-hand batter Ron Hodges. They're not worried about his run at all. Not in the slightest, because it's the one at second that can end the ball game. And by issuing the intentional walk to Don Hahn, they set up a double play possibility and the force around. Then they'll pitch to the left-hand batting, Ron Hodges, knowing that there's not much Yogi Berra can do about that, because he has no more catchers. The intentional walk has been achieved. Now it is runners first and second. One man out. Left-hand batter left-hand pitcher Luke Walker working the left-hand batter Ron Hodges. Hitting .256, 1 homer and 17 runs batted in. Bob Apodaca is up and throwing again in the Met bullpen. Apodaca is up and throwing. Swinging a foul ball off to the left side out of play. It's strike 1. Hodges is followed by Ray Sadecki. Ray Sadecki is also a left-hand batter, which explains the move of Danny Murtaugh and getting McKee out and bringing in his left-hander, Luke Walker. John Milner takes his lead at second. Don Hahn takes his lead at first. Score tied 3-3 in the 11th. Here's the pitch. Inside. Move Ron Hodges back. It's 1 ball and 1 strike to the young catcher, a native of Virginia, brought up by the New York Mets at midseason when they were in catching troubles because of injuries, primarily because of the broken arm sustained by Jerry Grody. Hodges thought he'd stay 2 weeks. He has stayed the remainder of the year. Again, Met runners lead at first and second. The crowd starts to come alive a little bit. They had settled down during the pitching change. Luke Walker sets up now. Here's the 1-1, and it is low and away, and St. Gian had to move way out there to grab that ball, which was in the dirt, with a thrust of the glove. He threw it in. Almost a wild pitch. Count of 2-1. 2-1 to Ron Hodges. Milner at second. Hahn at first. Good speed on the bases. Little rhythmic applause has been begun here now. Luke Walker has the sign. This will be a 2-1 delivery. On the way. Swung on. The ground ball is short. Taken there by Maxwell. Over to Cash for 1 to throw to first, and he is safe at first base. Moving to third is Milner. As Don Hahn went in and was in a flurry of arms and legs with Cash. He got to throw off and on the money, but Hodges legged it out. So now there are runners at first and third as the fourth was made 6-4 at second, and Sadecki is up. Sadecki's had 7 hits this year and 30 times at bat. Hodges just beat it on a bang-bang play at first to keep the Mets alive as they try to win it in the bottom of the 11th inning. Ray Sadecki swings that bat loosely, waiting for left-hander Luke Walker to deliver a pitch. Milner, the runner, at third. Hefner's moved in on the grass at third. Ron Hodges takes his lead at first. 2 men are out. Here's the pitch, and it's low for a ball. 1-0 with the count to Ray Sadecki. Not a bad hitting pitcher. Here, handicapped by the fact that he is facing a left-hander, of course. Again, the Met runners lead at first and third. The score is tied 3-3. Luke Walker off the stretch. The pitch, and it's low for a ball. It's 2-0. Wayne Garrett is next in the Met batting order. Mets have not had a hit here in the 11th inning. They've had 2 walks, 1 unintentional and 1 intentional, with a sacrifice in between. This will be a 2-0 delivery. It's on the way, and it is taken right down the pipe for a call strike. 2-1 as the takedown was on to Ray Sadecki. It'll be the top of the batting order up for the Pittsburgh Pirates in the 12th inning. Ray Sadecki will face Richie Hefner. Hefner did not start the game. Rennie Stunnett started at second, but he pulled a muscle in the rib cage at the plate, and he had to go out of the game, so Cash was moved to second, and Hefner was brought in to play third. And then it was Hefner who hit a home run in the top of the 7th inning for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Overall, he is 1 for 3 and an intentional walk. He is a left-hand batter. Hefner's had 24 home runs this year, as well as a few arguments with his former manager, Bill Burton. Here's a swing and a ground ball foul back at first glove by Milner, but out of play. It's strike 1 to Hefner. Ray Sadecki off the mound was streaking for the bag at first to cover. We're in the top of the 12th inning, and the score is tied 3-3. If you've joined us along the way, let us tell you that 3 times Pittsburgh Pirates went out in front by a run, and 3 times during the ballgame the New York Mets battled back to tie it. Sadecki's pitch to Hefner, swung on and looped out into short center field, going out and calling his Mian, and Mian makes the catch. 1 away, and Dave Cash will be the batter. He's had 3 hits. Cash has had 2 singles and a double. For the year, he's hitting .265. Sadecki reads the sign from catcher Ron Hodges. Now Cash backs out. Now he's set to go. That pitch is a fastball in for a called strike. In extra inning games this year, the Pirates have won 8, and they have lost 3. The Mets have won 6 and lost 12 in extra innings. That's a pitch in for a call, strike 2. 0-2, the count to Cash. The right-hand batter is waiting. Waiting on deck is left-hand batter Al Oliver. 2-strike delivery is foul back, out of play, 0-2. In extra inning games, the Mets have won their last 3 outings and 4 of their last 5. So it took a while for them to get it going in extra inning competition, but they've been able to do it lately. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on and foul back to third, out of play, on the ground. Count continues at 0-2. Cash has the bat cocked to Sadecki. Delivers in there for a close strike 3. Ray Sadecki with his 5th strikeout. 2 away, and Al Oliver coming up now in the top of the 12th inning. Oliver has gone 0 for 5 tonight. And big Wilbur Stargell has moved up there on deck. Oliver flies to center. Grounded out, catcher to first. Grounded out, pitcher to first. Grounded out, second to first. Pop to second. Sadecki starts to rock into the motion. There's a pitch, just missed. Inside high, 1-0. Ray Sadecki, who came to the Mets from the San Francisco Giants, began his major league career with the St. Louis Cardinals. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swung on, hit on the ground to second. Millan is there, gets the bat, hop barehanded, goes to first in time. Millan is getting an ovation here. That ball took a bad hop to his right side, and he grabbed it barehanded and made the play at first base to retire the side. Sadecki has retired 9 consecutive batters in the 3 innings he's pitched. Nothing across. And at the middle of the 12th inning, the score is tied. The Pirates 3, the Mets 3. Well, here we go. Last of the 12th inning. The ball game is tied 3-3, and what a ball game. Wayne Garrett, Felix Millan, and Rusty Staub come up against the left-hander, Luke Walker. For the Pirates, Jim Rooker, Bob Johnson, Ramon Hernandez, and Jim McKee and Luke Walker have been on the mound. Pittsburgh using 5, the Mets have used 3. Left-hander Luke Walker goes into his windup, and the pitch to Garrett breaks over the outside corner, called strike 1. Wayne has 1 for 4 and a sacrifice, batting .243. Popped in the air behind third, it may go foul, and does, a foul ball. Beyond the reach of Hebner, but it landed in foul territory. Looked for a moment as though Wayne might get lucky, but it was foul by several yards. What pitching in this game? 12th inning, the Mets have 3 runs on 7 hits. The Pirates 3 runs on 5 hits. I wonder when the last time Al Oliver went 0 for 6 was. He is quite a hitter. Luke Walker with a 2-strike advantage, pitching to Garrett, and he held just in time. It missed outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One-two delivery, way inside. Garrett had to lean away from that. So the count evens at 2-2. We had 25,000 early in the evening. I'd say we still have 20,000 here. Noise level starting to come up as the crowd turns on again. Mets batting in the home 12th inning with a chance to win it. The 2-2 pitch, low outside, ball 3. Garrett with a good eye watching it all away as it broke out of the strike zone. Now Luke Walker, 3-2. The payoff pitch to Garrett. Ground ball hit the second base. Dave Cash with an easy play. Throws on to first, one down. And Felix Millan coming up. Felix 2 for 4 and a walk. Batting at .293. Felix choking way up on the bat, hits out of a crouch. Ebner comes in close at third. Fastball, strike one call. If he played back, Felix would be a threat to lay one down. So he works a couple of strides in front of the bag at third on the edge of the infield carpet. Grounder foul over the Pirate dugout. Bouncing up into the crowd, it goes 2 strikes. Mets and the Pirates come right back to do battle again at 7:05 tomorrow night. Luke Walker now elects to step up. He has a 2-strike advantage, pitching to Felix Millan. Pirates have the defense spread out. And the pitch by Walker. Ground ball hit the shortstop. Now Maxwell grabs the hop, guns it, 2 down. Well, Luke Walker appears to have his good stuff. 2 outs and nobody on. The hitter, Rusty, stopped. Rusty has taken the collar in 5 times up. He made a bid for an extra base into the 8th inning, and Bob Robertson robbed him, and it saved a run. Now the pitch by Luke Walker in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. Anytime you run an extra inning ball game and you have home run power, you've got to be thinking long ball when you come up. Mets would love to win it right here. Willie Stargell leads off the 13th. Now Luke Walker checking in with Son Guillen. The pitch to Staub. High, outside, 2 balls and no strikes. This game has been pitching and some very timely hitting. Not a lot of hitting, but what hits that have been on display have been timely ones. Curve, a strike, 2-1 to Rusty Staub. Mets were down to their last out of the 9th inning when Duffy Dyer tied it up with a double. He almost won it. The 2-1 pitch to Staub and a foul off to the right. No play. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yogi Berra using everybody but Lute Barnes, Willie Mays, and Dave Sneck. Willie sidelined with injured ribs. The 2-2 pitch. Ball 3. Now a full count on Staub at 3-2. This is left-hander against left-hander. Should Rusty draw a walk, Cleon would be coming up, and now Staub asks for time and gets out of the batter's box. And the 3-2 pitch. Ground ball hit toward the middle of the diamond. Base hit to center field. Winning run is on with 2 men down. Single to center for Rusty. Now Maxwell racing toward the middle of the diamond. Just tipped the ball with his glove but couldn't hold it. That was the first hit given up by Luke Walker since he came in the game. And now Cleon is the batter. Cleon 1 hit in 4 times at bat. He drew an intentional walk in the 8th inning. The 1 hit was timely. It drove in a run, tied the game 1-1. That was in the 6th inning. Here's the pitch on the way. Low inside, 1 ball and no strikes. Nothing going in either bullpen. Duel now between the left-handers, Sadecki and Walker. Leon cocks the bat. Low outside, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Now Cleon looks down to Eddie Yost, and you can bet he'll be swinging on 2-0 if he likes the looks of it. Staub edging away from first. Here's the pitch. Way inside, ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes. Now will Cleon. Ray Sadecki facing a tough row in the 13th inning. He will be pitching to Willie Stargell, Richie Zisk, and Manny Sanguillen. He faced that trio in the 10th inning and retired them in order. Everybody deep, everybody around to the right as Stargell steps in. Sadecki into his windup, the pitch to Stargell. Outside, ball 1. Don Hahn swings over into right center. Staub playing a deep right field. The 1-0 pitch by Sadecki, a ground ball foul, no play. Handled by Don Leppert, the coach down at first base. 1 ball and 1 strike on Stargell. Willie on base once tonight. That was in the 4th inning when he drew a walk, and he later scored a run. Both teams have scored 2 runs that were not tainted. And a foul tip that catches the umpire, John McSherry. Big John is all right, looks the ball over, throws it back to Ray Sadecki. All 3 of the Met runs have been scored as earned runs, but they were aided on a bobble in center field by Oliver. 1 of the 3 Pirate runs was unearned. Sadecki with a count of 1-2 on Stargell. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. The 6th strikeout for Ray Sadecki. He has faced 10 men and fanned 6 of the 10. Now Richie Zisk. The right fielder is 0 for 4 with a walk. Let's play him deep. Inside and low. 1 ball, no strikes. Zisk is the Pirates' leading hitter, batting at .336. Ron Hodges working smoothly behind the plate. Now signs for the next delivery. Ground ball through the hole, a base hit to left field. And the Pirates had their first base hit off Ray Sadecki. A ground single into left. And it will bring up another tough hitter, Manny Sanguillen. Sanguillen 1 for 5, a base hit back in the fourth would help produce the first Pirate run of the ballgame. Center fielder Dave Augustine is the on-deck batter. Let's set the infield up now, trying to get a double play ball. Boswell protects the line at third. And a foul hit back upstairs. No play for Hodges. It drops into the crowd. In relief, Sadecki had retired 10 consecutive Pirates, striking out 6 of the 10 before yielding a ground single to Richie Zisk. And Doug McGraw starts to throw in the bullpen. Here's the pitch on the way. Fly ball hit the right. Easy play for Staub. He moves under it, grabs it for the out. Sanguillen is out on a fly to right. Now Dave Augustine, the center fielder, coming up. Played with the Charleston Charlies in the International League this season, batted .276. Has great speed. They've been using him as a pinch runner. He's a right-hand batter. Second plate appearance in the ball game. Sadecki fanned him in the 11th. Zisk leading off first base. And the pitch by Sadecki fouled straight back. Right into our television booth. Make it hard to duck this late at night. Sadecki getting his sign from Ron Hodges. Kicks the leg, delivers. Fastball off the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. The pitches Sadecki have thrown that have not been strikes must not miss by more than a quarter of an inch. He has really been around the plate. 2 outs and 1 on. Pitching 1-1. And a check swing. Breaking ball inside. 2-1. Augustine, fooled by the pitch, held up in time. Ray Sadecki from the stretch now steps off, sending Richie Zisk back to first. Doug McGraw on call out of the New York bullpen. The 2-1 pitch. Hit in the air to left field. It's deep. Back goes Jones by the fence. It hits the top of the fence. Comes back in play. Jones grabs it. The relay's thrown to the plate. They may get him. He's out. He's out at the plate. An incredible play. Augustine's drive hit the very top of the fence. Now, it could have bounced over for a home run, or it could have bounced back in play. When it bounced back in play, Jones caught the ball. He fired it to Wayne Garrett. Garrett made a perfect throw home, and Hodges had the ball waiting on Richie Zisk. He was out, and Hodges did a beautiful job of holding onto the ball as Zisk, a big, powerful man, came sliding straight in. The side is retired. Score that a double for Augustine, and Zisk is out at the plate. Jones to Garrett to Hodges. One of the most amazing plays I have ever seen. It bounced back off the top of the fence. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left. Middle of the 13th inning, the score tied 3-3. I wish you could hear the crowd buzzing here at Shea Stadium. They have just seen a remarkable play. You have to be good. It doesn't hurt to be a little bit lucky at times. Dave Augustine hit a drive that hit on the very top of the fence on the downward flank. I would say 9 times out of 10, the ball would bounce over for a home run. It bounced back, Jones was Johnny on the spot. He whipped the ball to Garrett, who had gone out into left field as the relay man. Garrett threw a perfect strike to Hodges. Milner up, and he takes high, ball 1. So we're tied 3-3 in the last of the 13th inning. Milner is 0 for 3 tonight with 2 walks. Left-hander against left-hander. And a foul ball, no play. 1 ball and 1 strike. This will have Milner, Boswell, and Hahn to hit against Luke Walker in the home 13th inning. The 1-1 pitch breaks away. 2 balls and a strike. Well, the totals in this game are now 3-7-1 Pittsburgh, 3-8-1 New York. A play to remember. A play you can't forget. Way inside, Milner hitting the dirt. And the count is 3-1. Milner has already walked twice in the ballgame tonight. However, in this spot with the count 3-1, if that pitch is to his liking, he'll be trying to do something with it. The Mets happen to win this thing this year. They'll never forget that play. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Inside, the winning run is on. Son Guillen argues with John McSherry. Luke Walker has been in the game. Well, he came in the game in the 12th inning. Came in the game in the 11th inning, gave up the intentional walk, then worked out of the jam. Kenny Boswell stepping in now. Boswell has been up twice, singled as a pinch hitter, and sacrificed successfully. And they are looking for the sacrifice now. Here's the pitch. Look out. He hits the dirt, getting out of the way. Walker trying to get the fastball up to make it tough to bunt, but he didn't mean to put it right there, over the helmet. Now if Boswell bunts Milner over. The Pirates, of course, can walk Don Hahn. They'll have an open base. It would then be up to Ron Hodges and Ray Sadecki to try and get the run home. Bob Apodaca warming up at the New York bullpen. Mets had that same situation on the 11th. And the pitch on the way. High inside, ball 2. Luke Walker behind Boswell. 2 balls and no strikes. So Boswell looks down to Eddie Yost to see if Yogi wants him to take another pitch and try and work out a walk. Milner, the winning run, is on first base, nobody out. Second time that Milner has walked in the extra innings. They pitch carefully to him. And the pitch. And he's taking ball 3. It was low. The count is 3-0. Dave Justy jumps up and starts throwing in the Pirate bullpen. Luke Walker behind Boswell, 3-0. Yogi has completely just about used up his reserve strength. He's going to have to win it with a lineup on the field. Now the stretch by Walker. Here's the pitch. Look out, ball 4. Almost a wild pitch. Boswell hitting the dirt to get out of the way. Now the winning run is on second, nobody out. 2 walks in a row by Luke Walker. And Don Hahn will be coming up. Manny Sanguillen calls time, walks to the mound. Dave Cash goes to the mound. As they try now to settle down Luke Walker. Now what would you do? Would you have Hahn sacrifice with the left-hand hitter on deck? Or would you hit away? Managing is not an easy job. Danny Murtaugh is coming out now. He has Dave Justy in the bullpen. For for watching Denny as he walks slowly to the mound. He has not signaled to his bullpen. Luke Walker very suddenly walking Milner and Boswell. The Mets have runners at first and second, nobody out in the bottom half of the 13th inning. What a struggle this has been. Almost 4 hours old. What excitement and amazing tension. Most incredible play of the year. Fisk was on first. Augustine hit a ball that hit the top of the bullpen fence on the downward flank. Instead of bouncing over for a home run, it bounced back to the field of play. Jones grabbed it in the air coming off the fence. Wheeled and fired the ball to Garrett, who was Johnny on the spot, and Garrett, who has a marvelous arm, threw an absolutely perfect strike to Ron Hodges. They had the ball waiting on Richie Zisk. Now the umpires are trying to get a decision from Danny Murtaugh. Danny is stalling to give Justy some time in the bullpen, and Justy will come in. So Luke Walker will leave the game, and Dave Justy will come in. Danny leaves. He goes back to the dugout. But Dave Justy is coming into the ballgame. Luke Walker came in the 11th inning with 1 out. He has pitched 1 2/3 innings. At the moment, Walker has allowed no runs, only 1 hit. He has given up 3 walks. Mets have now drawn a total of 8 walks in the ballgame. So Dave Justy will be the 6th Pirate pitcher. So while Justy comes into the game, makes the trip to the mound, we'll pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
You're listening to Mets Baseball on WKAJ-FM 102.3 on your FM dial.
Bob Murphy with Lindsey Nelson and Ralph Kiner. Dave Justy, the veteran right-hander and former Syracuse University star, is in the game. He was hit hard in relief by the Mets only last night. Leon Jones put a ball game away with a 3-run homer over the center field fence. But he's quite a relief pitcher. One of baseball's very best. On the year, he's won 9, lost 2, and has 18 saves. And he's getting a lot of work. Danny Murtaugh was hoping that he would not have to use Justy in this ball game. He wanted to rest him. Just as Yogi Berra has been hoping he would not have to use Tug McGraw. This is the 9th time that Justy has relieved against the New York Mets. When play resumes, Don Hahn will be the batter. Runners on first and second. Nobody out. The on-deck batter, Ron Hodges. And then Ray Sadecki. So if Hahn bunts the runners over, undoubtedly the Pirates then would intentionally walk Hodges. Ray Sadecki would be scheduled up. Yogi still has Dave Steck in the dugout. Well, are you ready? Here we go. They set up to play for the bunt. Hahn is the batter. Milner and Boswell are the base runners. The pitch by Justy. He tries to bunt and misses, strike 1. John Milner with good speed is on second. Ken Boswell on first. First baseman Oliver coming up the line. And the pitch. Bunts it in the air. It's caught easily by Oliver, 1 down. So Hahn bunted a pop-up to the first baseman Oliver. Now Hodges comes up. Ron batting for the second time in the ball game, reached on a force play in the 11th inning. Dave Steck comes out on deck. He'll be hitting for Ray Sadecki. Here's the pitch by Justy. Swing and a miss, strike one. On the year, Ron Hodges batting at 254. Knocks the bat and waits. Strike, a fastball at the outside corner. And Dave Justy quickly has a two-strike edge working on Ron Hodges. Last of the 13th. Mets tied the game when they were down to their last out in the 9th inning on a double by Duffy Dyer. Two-strike delivery. And a line drive into short left field, coming into Starship, base hit. Rounding third, heading home, Milner. The throw coming in, the Mets win. The Mets win it. They are a half game out of first place. The crowd standing and cheering here at Shea. Ron Hodges singles to left field on a two-strike pitch, driving home John Milner. The Mets win it. They are now in second place. They are a half game out of first. 4-3 New York in a 13-inning battle.
You're listening to Mets Baseball on WKAJ-FM 102.3 on your FM dial, serving you from Saratoga Springs, New York.
A deliriously happy crowd leaving Shea Stadium, many starting to chant, "We're number one, we're number one." The Mets have now won 4 straight extra inning ball games. They have now won 7 of their last 9, 12 of their last 16, 18 of their last 25. In July, they were 12 games out of first. They now are 1/2 game out of first. And they'll have Tom Seaver pitching tomorrow night against Steve Blass. The kind of game you could talk about for hours. It was a game that 3 times saw the Mets come from behind. They trailed 1-0, and they tied the ball game with Cleon Jones driving in the run. They fell behind 2-1. The second run scored when a ball was bobbled after a base hit by Oliver in center. They fell behind again 3-2. They were down to their last out when Duffy Dyer, as a pinch hitter, doubled off the left field fence, tying the ball game. He just missed winning it. He missed a home run by about a foot. Then came the most remarkable play of the year in the top of the 13th inning. With 2 outs and Richie Zesk on first base, center fielder Dave Augustine hit a long drive to left. On the downward flight, it hit on the very top of the bullpen fence. Instead of bouncing over as a 2-run homer, it bounced back into the hands of Cleon Jones, who wheeled instantly, fired the ball to Garrett. Garrett, who had raced into the outfield, then made a perfect throw to Hodges, and Zesk was out at the plate. The Mets won the game in the last of the 13th. Luke Walker walked Milner and Boswell. In came Dave Justy. Hahn tried to bunt the runners over, popped up to Oliver, now playing first. But Ron Hodges, the rookie catcher, won the game with a base hit to left field. So the Mets have undisputed possession of second. They're a half game out of first. Tomorrow night they play an hour earlier, 7:05, and Tom Seaver will be pitching against Steve Blass. Tonight it was brilliant pitching for New York by Koosman, Parker, and Sadecki. Sadecki, the winner, is now 5-4. Luke Walker, the loser, 7-12. New York had 4 runs, 9 hits, 1 error, and 12 left. Pittsburgh 3 runs, 7 hits, 1 error, and 10 left on. Be with us tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Again in 13 innings. The New York Mets 4 and the Pittsburgh Pirates 3. New York Mets
New York Mets baseball has been a feature presentation of WKJ FM and was brought to you by several local sports-minded businessmen who hope that you have enjoyed today's game, and by the staff of WKJ FM 102.3 on your dial, who urge you to patronize the sponsors who made these broadcasts possible. Remember, you'll hear all the New York Mets games at home and away, night and day, on your New York Mets station WKJ FM in Saratoga Springs, New York. And this has been the New York Mets Baseball Network.